Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Jeff and today we're going to have some fun playing Magic, and we have Jumpstart that just barely launched. So I'm recording this as soon as it comes out. I'm recording it right before the 9 o'clock time that I typically post this video. So it'll be going out pretty soon. And then as soon as this is posted, I'll be jumping onto a live stream as well. So if you guys want to check me out over there, I'll be playing a bunch more Jumpstart cards. The link will be in the description below. If you guys don't know what Jumpstart is, I want to dive into that real quick. Also down in the description below will be the timestamps for when gameplay starts, all that kind of stuff when I'm diving into the deck. But I wanted to spend at least a little bit of time talking about Jumpstart here for you because I think it's one of the most confusing sets that we've ever had, confusing products ever. And so I wanted to jump into it real quick just so you guys have a little bit of feel of my thoughts on it and what exactly it is. So Jumpstart is also an event here where you can jump in for either 2,000 gold or 400 gems, and you get 2 packs that have 20 cards in them. They have 6 to 7 lands. They have a whole theme based around it. Most of them are like monocolored. A few of them are multicolored. You can kind of get a bunch of different cards. They come with a rare, sometimes a rare and a mythic, like that kind of stuff. Even the uncommons in this are all amazing, and it's 500 cards in this set, and most of them are reprints. 300 of them are completely new to MTG Arena, and they are all playable in the historic format. So this set is mostly for Commander. It's in physical cards as well, and I feel like the idea of it is it's a really quick and easy way to jump into playing Commander without having to especially for a new player. A lot of people that are jumping into Magic right now, a lot of people want to play either physical cards or MTG Arena. MTG Arena isn't really a great way to be introducing a friend to Magic. And so I feel like Jumpstart is actually a great product for physical cards because I can introduce a friend to Jumpstart by saying, hey, let's go buy these packs. You know, let's go buy 4 packs. We'll crack them open, shuffle two packs together. They shuffle 2 packs together. We can immediately start playing a game. And you have the kind of like the new starter decks available there. Starter decks are completely useless in Commander. You're not going to be able to have cards that actually are playable. It doesn't improve someone's card base or their library of cards if you're just using starter packs. They just really aren't that good. Jumpstart, on the other hand, it is a little more expensive rather than free, but you get to actually have these cards that are really good for teaching a new player how to get into Commander, and all of the cards, or at least some of the cards, are busted in Commander, and all of them are at least playable there. I feel like they really did a good job of having cards that will be usable in Commander. So this is basically like the new starter pack, the starter deck for Commander. That's a good way to be looking at it. I also like looking at this as a new starter pack for jumping into Historic. So with Jumpstart, you can buy these ones. You will be able to do that same type of event. You get to pick 2 different themes, shuffle them together, play against people in an event, and if you get 2 wins, you get some rare cards and that kind of stuff as well, which is really nice. It'll help you get a little bit more of your database for Historic. If you guys are a new Standard player, if you haven't been doing this that long, this is a great way to be jumping into actually doing something like getting a little bit more of a card base for Historic. All these cards are going to be good in Historic, and then you can be adding in cards as you get wild cards, things like that. So this is a good way to start building the deck, the library for being able to jump into Historic, because Historic is really where there's going to be a lot of focus for the next year, I would say. Jumpstart just barely popped out. There's an extra 500 cards with 300 new cards that haven't been printed before in Historic, and then Amonkhet Remastered is going to be coming next month, and then Zendikar Rising is going to be coming, and Rotation is going to happen. And I feel like Historic at that point will really get a high peak of interest and everything like that. So I am going to be doing a little bit more Historic content because I just think that that's where the fun is going to be had by me, and I'm hoping that you guys can enjoy it. I know not everyone has the ability to do that with free to play, that kind of stuff, so I'm still absolutely going to be doing a lot of Standard stuff. I'm still absolutely going to be doing a lot of the free to play fun stuff, but I am going to put a little bit more focus into Historic because there's just a lot of fun to be had there. All right, so jumping into this deck. So this deck, 5 mana cost enchantment. This is a new Jumpstart card here that came out. Whenever an opponent loses life, you gain that much life. So basically, if I have this and a VITO Thorn to the Dusk Rose on the battlefield at the same time, whenever you gain life, target opponent loses that much life. So target opponent's going to lose life. Then also this will trigger and says, well, opponent lost life, so you gain life. So you gain life, then VITO gains life, so you target them to lose life again. So then you just have an infinite combo loop with Exquisite Blood and VITO Thorn of the Dusk Rose, which is just bonkers and busted. So I wanted to throw this into the mono black aggro deck, or devotion deck, where we have Phyrexian Ablator, we have Grey Merchant Asphodel, we have other win conditions inside this deck. that aren't just with Veto and Exquisite Blood, you know. So that is one combo piece that we have. Honestly, I think if you're going for just the combo, it might be better to be playing it like in either a Sultai deck or just like a Golgari deck to be able to ramp up to Exquisite Blood quicker, so you can have the combo happen on turn 4 or something like that. So that's another way to do it, as well as trying to find ways that you can gain life the turn that like Veto comes onto the battlefield, whatever. The way that we're trying to do that in this deck right now is with Ayara. We hope to have Ayara on the battlefield probably on turn 3, get to Exquisite Blood by turn 5, and then turn 6 play Veto and have Ayara trigger it so that we gain life immediately. That's kind of the idea with this deck. That's the hope. We have 4 copies of each so that we can use them in other ways. Like we can just have Veto on turn 3 if we have it, and then get to a Grey Merchant of Asphodel, which may win the game instead of the Exquisite Blood. We are going to be shooting for the combo, but just so you guys know, there are other ways to win with this deck, and we are going to be going for winning the games, not just trying to go for the combo. But the combo is going to be a little bit of focus here. Other cards that we got with Jumpstart: Drana, Liberator of Malakir, 3 mana Legendary Vampire, I think Aerialist as well, or Ally, there we go. Flying first strike. Whenever Drana, Liberator of Malakir deals combat damage to a player, put a +1/+1 counter on each attacking creature you control. So this is really cool because it's flying, it's evasive. It also gives first strike, so that means that it's going to do damage first and then put counters onto everything. So then our other cards, this is another Jumpstart card, will get a counter onto them as they're attacking. So Gifted Aetherborn, really awesome card, great for devotion type decks. I'm not sure if it's better than going for like the discards type of play, so I put 2 copies in here to start out with, but it's one of those cards that like, it doesn't have a ton of text on it. 2 mana, Death Touch, Lifelink, 2/3, but if you're playing a mono black deck, you're trying to get devotion, sometimes just having like it can be removal just as a good blocker. It does gain you life, so it slows down the game, and that's kind of what we're wanting to do. We want something to be able to gain life the turn that we bring out this combo. So like if we do get turn 2 Gifted Aetherborn, turn 3 Veto, and then turn 5 Exquisite Blood, we can swing in with Gifted Aetherborn, gain life, start the loop, and win. So we do need cards like this that gain us life immediately, and so that's kind of the goal with the deck. In fact, we probably ought to be going up to more copies, but I wanted to keep kind of all the feel of what we had in the past with this deck as well, and kind of going forward. So other than that, Phyrexian Obliterator is one of the biggest, you know, just combo pieces for mono black devotion type deck. It's four mana pips onto a 4 mana creature. It's 4 mana 5/5, and then whenever a source deals damage to a Phyrexian Obliterator, that source controller sacrifices that many permanents. So if this comes in as a blocker, or we swing in and they have to chump block or block, we're also destroying maybe lands, destroying other creatures, destroying whatever sources they decide to sacrifice. So this can just be a finisher by itself. So anyway, this is the deck. Let's go ahead and jump into the gameplay, see how it does for us, and wish me luck. All right, up against Nosuke, bring it on Nosuke. So we're gonna keep this one. Yep, here we go. So yeah, Burning Tree Emissary is also banned from this format as well, which completely changed what typically is in Historic Ranked. So I am taking this into Mythic right now. Really not sure at all what we're gonna be running into. Kind of excited though. Explore, basically another Growth Spiral. Pretty good stuff. I guess we go for Agonizing Remorse. The Veto could be pretty nice to be able to grow the Knight of the Evil Legion on the next turn without pumping. So we can go Gifted Aetherborn, Veto. If we can swing with it, gain life, they lose a little bit more, and this will grow. Let's go ahead and attack in first, regardless. But Agonizing Remorse might be really nice here. I'm not sure how big they're going to go with this. Is it better to go aggro? Like, we could just hit like the Ugin after the fact. Let's go ahead and play Gifted Aetherborn. Let them like ramp for the next turn, which is what I'm guessing they're going to do, and then we take off a payoff. Take out a payoff. There we go. Also, Nexus of Fate also banned again. It was already banned in Best of 1, and now it's been banned in Best of 3. Which, very grateful for that, by the way. A Growth Spiral. All right, so it is banned. I'm assuming this is kind of similar to Bant Ramp in Standard. Like, it's such a good deck that you don't have to do too much there to make it powerful. Bounces the Aetherborn. That's cool. All right, I am trying to make sure that we maximize our mana. So we're gonna go Veto this turn. Next turn we go Aetherborn and Agonizing Remorse. Right now we just kill Teferi, pass the turn. I mean, Phyrexian Obliterator could also be good, but I think that's more of a finisher after we see a board wipe, after we try to go for some other gameplay here. Shatter the Skies, rude. There's a Grim Tutor so we can find more pieces. So Agonizing Remorse, let's see what they have in hand. Another Shatters. I think we just have to play around Shatters and take the Golos. This is Field of the Dead deck, which is pretty bad. At the same time, though, we can combo off around the Golos, around a bunch of stuff, if we find all the combo pieces. Phyrexian Obliterator is actually pretty good against them. So I guess we do just take out the Shatters. I mean, with Golos, they can probably go digging for stuff with the ability here. They don't have all the colors yet, though. All right, Uro. They hit a land. This lets them replay Uro. Rude. Phyrexian Obliterator should be good here. There's Exquisite Blood. All right, so yeah, play a Phyrexian Obliterator. Swing in, pass the turn. They don't have enough to replay this. They may go ahead and try it, though. I mean, Phyrexian Obliterator kind of puts a stop off to them, though. We'll see. Ow, for the love.
I know my responsibility. I'll protect.
All right, balances Obliterator. I think it's amazing how Teferi somehow... I've never seen a game where Teferi's in a deck that it's not drawn at least 3 times in a game. Like, in pretty early in the game. Like, this is... I mean, they've gone through quite a bit of their deck, but... it never happens that they don't find it multiple times. All right, so play Obliterator again. Swing it to Teferi, pass the turn. They'll probably just jump. They lose it. All right.
My worst defeat.
We also need land. We can dig for land with Grim Tutor to hit the Exquisite Blood if that's really what we need. I'd like to be able to hit land, hit this, hit another land, bring this to hand with VITO, and then play it. So like we do have, if we draw 2 lands here, we have the game in hand. As long as they can't interact with it. Yep, lots and lots of stuff going on here. There we go. So we hit land, we go Exquisite Blood, we pass the turn. We pray that this will stay on the battlefield. And that we hit land off the top, because Grim Tutor into VITO, play VITO, swing in with Gifted Aetherborn, we win the game. They found the Shatter the Skies. I'm not sure if they'll actually go. They found another Teferi too. Yeah, okay. We still hit land. I don't think they do enough damage here to kill us. We have to be able to gain life somehow, though. So 6, 9, plus... oh man, I think this is too much. We have to be able to find a way to gain life, and we have to be able to take 3 damage. So I might have to block the Uro. So this is 12, 18. So we're already dead there. We gain 2 more. The 3 is too much. So we have to block Uro to be able to have a chance here, which means we don't have a way of actually gaining any life. I guess we still block there. Yeah, I think that we were just a turn too late with everything. They just had a few too many Teferis, which, I mean, happens every time. Gotta be able to play around Teferi, right? Yeah, we're done. They found the house with Conqueror's Death, answers all the combo. Lame sauce. All right, up against Pine Box, we're gonna go ahead and keep this. Pretty good devotion hand here. And we have part of the combo. It is really nice to only have a 2-card combo. I mean, Technically, we can just use the ability here. If we get to the mana for Exquisite Blood, we can just pay 5 life, swing in with Veto. As long as it doesn't die on the board or we have other creatures, we can gain life and then win right there on turn 6. All right, play Swamp, pass the turn. All right, up against Cycling in Historic. This will be a little bit interesting. Fenlurker, I don't feel like does a whole lot here. They get to cycle through everything, so I guess we just go for more of the aggro play. Try to get to Phyrexian Obliterator, hope they can't answer it. Even if they like Zenith Flare onto this, it deals damage to it to kill it, and they have to sacrifice all their lands. Cycling's not going to have a lot of stuff, so if this resolves and they don't kill us too quickly, we should be able to finish the game before. Ominous Seas, interesting. Very interesting. Creating an 8/8 could be very bad for us. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and swing in, play out Ayara. And again, trying to hold on to the combo until later. If Ayara stays on the battlefield, we can play this on turn 6 after Exquisite Blood and have the infinite combo go off with this. So that's the dream. Technically, I think I do a little bit more damage by having this out, but meh. All right, Ominous Seas number 2. All right, that could be bad. Obliterator still takes care of it pretty well, though. Yeah, let's go and play it now. All right, they have no more mana, so we can swing in with both of our creatures. Do we want to be able to hold back AR just for card draw, though? I mean, if we can dig into Exquisite Blood, that's pretty sweet. Just dealing damage here, though, is probably good enough. Like, we do need to go aggressive in case they do have the Zenith Flare. So down to 12, pass the turn, up to 26. Us going up higher means Zenith Flare is going to have to, they're going to have multiples usually to win here. We already have a good answer for the Ominous Seas. Ooh. Yidaro, all right, that's interesting. All right, go for blood on Ayara. That's a little bit annoying because we could have had some good combos here. Ooh, there's Exquisite Blood. All right, play Exquisite Blood. And then we pass the turn. No attacks. We hold back Obliterator now and try to go for the combo. I'm not sure in Historic what things they can have to answer. Like, I don't know if they're going to be playing some sort of... they could play Board Wipe in this deck and have Ominous Seas more as like an answer here. Intriguing. Oh yeah, tap down. That's what matters here. Yes. Cathartic Reunion. I don't think they played a land yet, so they can still have a land. But I don't think anything with 1 mana does it here. Veto, swing with Gifted Aetherborn, and we win the game. All right. I guess yeah. Veto. Technically, I should be leading off with Agonizing Remorse there. But this should be the game. So swing in with Gifted Aetherborn. Please let the combo actually happen. It does have lifelink, so as long as it actually hits here, we have the game. They can bring out an 8/8. They can't now. They went to blocks, but... All right, they take it. So they lose life, we gain life. Couple things trigger. They actually trigger each at the same time, so they'll stack here now over and over again. And we have 2 damage, infinitely cycling, and we get the game. Yes! Oh, that's beautiful. The one downside is that Veto does have to target, so I could see a good protection or a cyber card against this is bring in Leyline of Sanctity to be able to give yourself hexproof. That is something that you can do. The Wanderer, the things that prevent damage, don't deal it because this is all loss of life. Yeah, Leyline of Sanctity does stop the combo. All right, up against Chucho69. And so one awesome thing too, so Burning Tree Emissary just barely got banned in Historic as well. We're keeping this. A lot of interaction, not a ton of actual plays, but we do have Exquisite Blood, which if we can land that and then play other stuff, like we can just win, again, pretty quickly off of this. Also, at 5 mana, we also can just give VITO lifelink by swinging in. So anyway, Burning Tree Emissary is gone, which means we're going to be seeing a lot of different decks in here now than we were seeing before. I am going to go ahead and kill this now. Because it has a counter onto it, it can give it hexproof if they untap, and so I figured let's go ahead and just get rid of that now. Yorvo. All right, Heartless Act removes 3 counters. And so I think that we're going to go ahead and... Heartless Act could be nice, but I might just go for the Agonizing Remorse. It hits creatures as well. Galta. All right, we'll take the Vivian. They don't quite get to Galta on the next turn. We can Heartless Act that anyway, and so we're just going to have to try to deal with this Yorvo for a little bit. No creatures. Don't draw anything good. And we're going to get to Exquisite Blood, gain life, and be awesome. The other good thing about this too is if we are in a race type this, we can get out an Exquisite Blood, just hit in aggressively, and we're gaining all the life that we're dealing to them, which is not too shabby. All right, so we know Galta is out and available. Let's go ahead and swing in. So I think what we're going to do is just hit the damage. So Galta gets it's minus X, where X is the power, total power among creatures you control. So right now they have 9, so it costs 9 less. We need a Heartless Act here. We're going to destroy the Gem Razor. We're going to play Catself Freebooter, even though we know it's in their hand. Doesn't really matter. We just need a blocker for Yorvo to kind of keep our life total a little bit higher. Pass the turn, and now we can get out, drop Exquisite Blood on the next turn, and hope that that's enough. Oh man, yeah, they're going a little bit crazy here. All right, Galta is coming. We chump block, take nothing. Ooh, yes. All right, Phyrexian Obliterator. This just basically won us the game. No attacks. We will get out Exquisite Blood soon, but Phyrexian Obliterator basically shuts down mono green. Like, this is exactly what we needed. Please swing in with something big. All right, Galta comes down. I mean, their goal here is now to trample over the top of us. So we're going to get out Exquisite Blood. We're just going to stop there, pass the turn, no attacks. If we get another Phyrexian Obliterator, we can play that one and start swinging in with this one. Hopefully start dealing damage, start gaining more life. Yeah, they're gaining a bit more life as well, growing the Scavenging Ooze. So the one way that they can win is swinging wide enough and big enough that they can kill us on one attack. If they're sacking stuff here, I'm guessing that means they don't have any card in hand. Maybe another Galta or something with Legendary. Ooh, they swing all in. Ooh, okay. All right, so what we do is we block Galta. We chump Yorvo. Galta's going to do 12 to Phyrexian Obliterator, which means they have to sacrifice so much stuff. Wow, did they actually have enough for lethal there? Man, I guess I just did not do the math there. Oops. All right, up against Oozman the Rad, keeping this. Pretty sweet hand here. Lots of good 2-drop stuff. Ooh, but we're on the play against Mono Red. Man, this is the issue with Best of 1. It's so fun. Honestly, Historic, I'll probably start playing a little bit more Best of 3 in Historic because there's just some things you have to be playing Best of 3 in. Let's go with Catself Freebooter. It is actually a blocker for Lava Runner. It also might make them spend a shock spell or some kind of spell at our face. Okay, we still get to take a peek at the hand, I believe. But we don't get to actually steal anything here. All right, that's a lot of risk factors. Yeah, this is just straight up burn. Yep. Historic Burn. Pretty powerful stuff. Magma Jet being able to do damage to anything, and the Scry too. So there is, I have seen a way of just going about this way. So I think we actually decline. We let them draw all the cards they want. We keep our life total as high as possible. I've done this in the past against Burn with, you know, risk factor and other stuff, and sometimes it works well enough. All right, let's go for the first strike. Yeah, make them deal with this for a little bit. Obliterator is going to be really difficult for them to deal with. They basically have to just send everything at face. All right. So already sending some stuff at creatures. Light up the stage, all the card draw, and young Pyromancer. Ooh. So they can go wide here. All right, Affection Obliterator. This should be pretty difficult for them to deal with. This is, again, where we try to not to take any damage to face. All their stuff is going to be damage dealing. They can create a bunch of tokens to sacrifice. And we're just going for the combo. All right, these are some new cards. I've honestly not read through all Jumpstart. So tap it, deals 1 damage to each opponent. Whenever you cast an instant sorcery spell, you untap it. Ooh, that's good. So I can go for Veto Yarok's Fenlurker and go Grey Merchant on the next turn with a little bit bigger board. Let's go for... So we can gain 6 life here. I think that we do go a little bit more aggressive. Also, getting Veto out on the battlefield can be kind of nice. They're gonna actually, this ends up doing double the damage. So if it stays around, great. If not, yeah, no attacks past the turn. How do we deal with this? Yeah, down to 14. Pyromancer, not a spell. It's your sorcery. Light up the stage. Untaps. Lots of 1/1s. Alright, Grey Merchant gaining 9 for us, dealing 9 again with Veto. We can also just give this lifelink and start swinging. There's another Veto. Alright, well, Grey Merchant. Gain 9, down to 2. Ooh, how do we swing here? Okay, so Phyrexian Obliterator, to stay alive, they have to put enough stuff to block to keep it alive, which means they do have 3 toughness here, and then they can chump like here, I guess, which means 2 damage is dealt. They sacrifice these 2. That means they can swing back pretty aggressively, but we have decent blockers. Ooh, they're going to do more damage to us. Sweet. So yeah, this does have trample. The more damage they deal to Phyrexian Obliterator, they have to sack more stuff. We can also still have the game just by giving lifelink to Grey Merchant and swinging in on the next turn. All right, so they go down to 1. They sacrifice 4 permanents. Getting rid of some lands. Okay, so they have Stomp in hand. If they can kill Veto, we still have an answer. And also Phyrexian Obliterator should just win this here. All right, another light up the stage or risk factor here. Yes. Yes. All right, sweet. So we had a couple ways to win. Whew, man. I feel like Burn is definitely good. They had a lot of card draw spells in hand. I wonder if it was a little bit too many. But that's again where the power of Phyrexian Obliterator comes into play, where we have a good chance against so many more decks, just because if they're damage dealing, we deal with it. If they're more like control-y, tempo, that kind of stuff, then we go for the infinite combo and just hope to hit it. But not too bad. All right, up against Nosuke again. I think we're playing up against a lot of people because not many people have actually updated the game yet. I did it really quickly. And so, yeah, this is what's going to happen. So keep this, drop an Obliterator. I like to keep 2 land hands pretty often. 2 land is fine with me because typically in best of 1, you get a little bit higher chance of hitting more lands. It doesn't always happen. And also, if I don't keep 2 land hands, I just never play the game. All right. Explore. We're playing Bant Ramp again. See, Gruul aggro was fast enough to compete against this deck. Now we're going to be in a little bit more trouble. Ooh. Kitesail Freebooter is awesome. So swing in, bring him down to 17. Try to steal the Teferi or Shatters or nothing. Ooh, rude. Very rude. Again, Obliterator really good against in this matchup, but we really needed to take some cards out of their hand there. That was kind of brutal. All right, well, we have the combo, so let's go ahead and swing in. We will get out VITO. No reason to get it out now. No reason to hold up Eliminate necessarily either. Like, there is a potential Shatter the Skies in hand. We're going to play towards the combo. If they Shatter now instead and we get Obliterator out on the battlefield, I'm still happy with that. Yeah, so what are you guys excited for in Historic? What are the decks you want to be looking at? Like, I'm excited to play Elves. I'm excited to play just a bunch of different decks that we've got. With Jumpstart, there's so many new good things in here. Like Explorer, we're seeing just the power of having another Growth Spiral, basically. It's not instant speed, but it's such a powerful effect. All right, Golos, yep, they start Fill the Deading. Life is awful. Well, we can eliminate the zombie. That's something. No lands. So I'm expecting a really big Hydra Crisis here. And so we're going to go for the eliminate. See if we can hopefully deal with the zombies for a little bit. I'm going to hold on to Straight Scorpion, I think, for a little while as well to get the ability with Exquisite Blood. Like, if we can eliminate onto that as well, we can kill our own Straight Scorpion, gain 2 life, Exquisite Blood triggers, and all that stuff. Yep, Hydra Crisis X6. In this case, we really have to kill that. It's going to end the game too quickly for us. All right, land. Give me the land. If we don't hit land, we're probably just dead. We'll take it. Down to 17. Yeah. Yeah, that's game. I think that not hitting land there, they're way too far ahead. Like, we can play this game out, but not hitting land just is the end of it. All right, I'm keeping this video a little bit shorter. I still played through 5 games here with this one, but I wanted to make sure I get this out as quick as possible to you guys. And then we're going to be doing a live stream again onto Twitch. If you guys want to check that out right now, I'll be live. Go ahead and click the link down in the description below. We'll be playing a bunch of new decks. I'm going to be recording YouTube videos while I'm there, as well as just brewing, doing fun stuff. And I really appreciate your guys' support over there. So make sure you go and follow. Make sure you like and subscribe to this video. And by the way, only 75% of you guys have subscribed, or no, sorry, 25% of you guys have subscribed. 75 of you guys haven't. Do it. Okay, appreciate it. Thank you. And anyway, overall, this deck is fun. I think it's really cool. I think that it's a powerful deck. It does a lot of cool things. The Exquisite Blood VITO combo was a little bit like, it wasn't as consistent in this one. We did get it off though in 5 games, you know, so 1 in 5 games you'll win that way. And I think that like you'll win that way probably 1 out of 3 games or 2 out of 3 games that you actually win with this deck. Where Friction Obliterator, everything like that, probably just people conceding to see that you've got too much value on the board is the way that people often will concede as well. Overall, super fun deck. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Yeah, again, like, subscribe. See you guys on Twitch. Have a good one, and bye-bye.